Hello everyone, welcome to Onyx Earth Tarot. Everything you need to know about me is in the description box below. Today's pick a card reading is going to be a message from your shadow side or self. It is a general reading, so it's just going to be a general message about what your shadow side wants you to say, what wants you to do or adjust. Okay? So it shouldn't be a very long reading because it's very simple, to the point, what your shadow side wants you to know. All right? As always, these readings are timeless, so whenever you stumble upon them, it should resonate if it's for you. Okay? With that being said, let's get into it. We've got pile 1, pile number 2, and this is pile 3. I'll give you a moment to meditate on your pile. If you need more time, go ahead and pause the video. All right, pile 1, your shadow side self. And these are messages coming through. Now, before I really look at your pile, I just want to say that I can feel strongly and deeply that your shadow side is overwhelmingly suppressed. Like, I have a feeling you try to be love and light all the time, right? Without acknowledging any of your less favorable aspects or emotions, right? So you definitely bury your less favorable traits and you label them as bad without ever processing them or evaluating them. So you're very stuck in your ways and you have a clear cookie cutter view of what's right and wrong, good and evil. And you can't be that way only because most aspects don't fall to the far left or right of the good and evil spectrum. Okay, we talk about shades of gray a lot. People talk about that a lot, right? And what it says is that a shadow is not inherently bad. Often it's the trade-off of a more favorable aspect, and you wouldn't have this shadow without this good thing that you need or desire to have. For example, you could never know what an emotion is. Like, let's say happiness. Like, you would never know happiness if you've never experienced its opposite. Let's say sadness, sorrow, or pain. If happiness simply exists as it does, alone, without any low points, then how does one measure it? How do you know you've achieved it? Sit with that. Okay? You've put yourself in a position where you can't truly feel or express the positive or favorable emotions you desire because you've shunned and buried the ones that you're ashamed of. Okay? Now every time you try to feel, all of your suppressed emotions surface. Okay? This is a message that came to me before I really got to looking at your cards. So, now looking at this spread, it lets me know that your shadow has been trying to reach you for some time, okay? This is a very easy, to the point reading. You might want to screenshot this because it's so to the point that I don't believe you need to read tarot or oracle cards to comprehend the message. Now I'm going to go over it. Your shadow wants you to dead, kill, lay to rest, your way of perceiving it. Okay? The NATOs, that card in the middle with the webs on it. That is the literal death oracle card. So it is a literal message, and it's followed by the 10 of Swords, which is a finalized end of a thought process or way of thinking. And then we have new vision, which is exactly what you need, okay? You're definitely set in your ways, as I said, because if you look to the right of those center cards, you have 3 set in your ways cards. You have the Stone, which is a solid rock that will not budge. And you have 2 4 of Pentacles. It's the miser in the below deck, right? So it's the miser. Now, you have to stop being that way. You have to be in flow. You have to be in balance, especially with your emotions, okay? But in life overall and in the way you think as well. So if you look to the right of those 3 solid stuck cards, you see what it is that they're blocking. Yin and yang. Flow coherently in balance from one end of the spectrum to the other. Literally, I've only ever gotten that combination, I think, once. Okay, that yin and yang combination from that deck. Now, let's go back to the other side. On the far left, you have the Mystic and the Truth Be Told cards. Okay, they're telling you to seek the truth, explore knowledge, release yourself from that cage, release yourself from your limited way of thinking, because that's what you have right now, a very limited way of thinking. Okay, broaden your horizon, seek truth, explore knowledge. And this is especially true because if you look just to the right of that, you see 3 the Fool cards. Now, I know that's an oracle deck, and if you look all the way at the top, it says the Pilgrim, but I find it very similar to the 2 Fool cards that it's right above, okay? So you've got 2 4 of Pentacles of how stuck you are on top of a Stone card, and you also have a Pilgrim on top of 2 Fools cards, right? That's how stuck you are. That's how free you need to be, especially with that open cage. You need to fly out, right? And even on that the Needles card, those webs symbolize something that is outdated, like something that's been there so long that webs have been allowed to accumulate there, right? So it's time to release that side of you, that way of thinking, okay? And again, Pilgrim, the Fool. So that's seeking the truth, exploring knowledge, broadening your horizon, releasing an outdated way of thinking, right? It's learning, gaining knowledge, expanding, traveling, all the things that you can do to learn more about yourself, others, and to find balance, and to release this cooker cutter perception of good and bad, right and wrong. Because I don't want you to think that, you don't have to acknowledge things that you perceive as bad. That's not it at all. But sometimes we overly label. Like sometimes when we're that stuck in that way that you are, where you have 3 cards that say that and 3 cards that say to free yourself, technically 4, 5, because that Mystic card has a butterfly flying, and that's also transformation. You perceive people, sometimes you perceive people and thought processes that are not your own as bad, and sometimes it's just simply different. So you have to be careful with that, because then there's a fine line between, okay, I was taught this was bad, and most people consider this bad, and now everything that does not align or fit into my label is bad, right? That's where you're starting to fall. That's where you're starting to tread. Not calling you a bigot. I don't believe that most of you picking this pile are. Some of you may very well be in some way. But you just have to free yourself, not just for other people, but for yourself, because now you're hindering your own growth and your own progress, and you can't feel accordingly. Like you can't feel love, because when you go to try to feel love, all of the negative shadow aspects of it, jealousy, control, obsession, begin to come out, because you've never dealt with any of those feelings, if that makes sense, right? It's like you have to deal with your perceived negative attributes, or they'll just bottle up and they'll explode at the time where it's not convenient, right? So just find a healthy way to deal with your shadow and to embrace it, and to find a way to love it as well, because it is a part of you. It isn't going anywhere. That's the message. Okay, so those were the messages from your shadow side, very clear, to the point. It's not hard, very simple. Well, the process will be difficult. The message is very simple, very clear. Okay, so that's all I have for you, pile number one. If this resonated, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. All right, pile two, messages from your shadow side or self. I see you've done a lot of shadow work. And your shadow wants you to know that your growth is a success and things will pay off soon. Okay, soon. So there was a tower moment, obviously, that forced you into hermit mode and regeneration with those cards all the way to the left, right? And you acted accordingly. You shut yourself away and you put in the work. So now that you've established a healthier relationship with your shadow, what's next, right? That fork in the road lets me know that you're wondering how to proceed, which path to choose. Now, the three cards at the top right, I see, and bear with me because I'm going to read them as they flow and then I'm going to elaborate. So they're all interconnected. They're all connected, okay? So it's like the thread at the fork will lead you to the medallion of agape. And it's basically like following the path to the gift of higher unconditional love of the self, of others, of life, right? And of spirit. So you've removed the barriers to this. Okay, you remove the barriers of this type of love, peace, success, and happiness. And that Knight of Cups is rushing towards it now. That's what you need to be doing. This is you. Okay? And opportunities and everything are going to come to you to make this easier if they haven't already, because I see that a lot of these opportunities have already presented themselves, and you may, like, this tower moment and this healing was in the past, and now you're currently in that Knight of Cups energy where you're actively, you know, accomplishing things, goals, and just finding your way, right? So I see and I feel like this is a message from your shadow side. So like it's coming through that you may find something of value soon, like stumble across something. And this will either be something you lost or something new that you need. And it could also be something that's gifted to you. I'm seeing very specifically something passed down in the family, most likely inherited from a maternal figure. Okay? I see a celebration of some sort, of accomplishments soon. Something you'll share with friends and family. Okay? It's definitely some sort of rite of passage with that creativity card and the fork in the road, and the medallion. So that's definitely a rite of passage of some kind. It could be a graduation, a promotion, a new job, an engagement, or marriage, or a baby. Okay, now it is an event. Whatever this celebration is, this event will lead to gifts and things to be passed down, and your shadow wants you to embrace and enjoy your blessings freely without feelings of guilt or unworthiness. Like, this is your time to shine, okay? Like, this is your time to reap the benefits, the rewards for all of the work you've put in. And your shadow side wants you to go ahead and accept it. Like, I have a feeling like the message coming in from your shadow side is almost like that of selfishness. Allow yourself some selfishness. Like, you don't have to always think about other people. Like, you're going to share this accomplishment with other people, but it's going to be a celebration of you in some form. Okay? And allow people to celebrate you selfishly, because I feel like you're not the type to do that. So whatever this accomplishment and celebration is, allow yourself to take the attention. Allow yourself to be the center of attention. Allow yourself to take all of the gifts and receive without the expectation of giving back. This is your time to feel and be receptive and to gain things like you've worked for it. It's not like it's just coming to you anyway. It's not like it's just coming poof, magical surprise blessings. This is something I feel like you've been working towards anyway. So allow yourself this time to be selfish. That's the message from your shadow side. And again, I definitely see with the thread, which is the line, and the medallion, which is an heirloom or heritage, I can definitely see some extension of a lineage in some way. Okay, so however that resonates for you, pile number 2, this is your message from your shadow side or self. If this resonated, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. All right, pile 3, message from your shadow side or self. This may be short. Let me see what I hear as I start talking, because right now your shadow side or self says you're messing up. I mean, it's very much that simple. So there's something that you really desire, something you're building, something you're working on. Could be anything. Could be a relationship, a project, a job, anything. Whatever it is you're really wanting, something you really have been working towards. And it may not even be something you've been actively working towards for some time, just something you've wanted that maybe you just now laid a foundation for, because I see that. Well, you have lots of confusion around you right now with that chaos and conflict card, and then you also have the riddle, and you're being called to come in with that consciousness and that turning in card to center and just figure this out, because you're messing up, and this is why. So you see how you have the riddle, the heart, and the orphan. That's you abandoning something. It's you abandoning your heart's desire because of confusion, which is the riddle. Okay, then you have the 6 of Wands, which is a success card. Then you have the 8 of Cups, which is you walking away from this success, okay, because you think it's the right thing to do. You think it actually will benefit you in the long run with that King of Pentacles, okay? And then you also have, again, that consciousness possibilities. It's like the initiation of an idea, the planning process, and I guess that's where the confusion lay, where the confusion began. And instead of turning in to find understanding, you just, again, that 8 of Cups, the orphan energy, you're just trying to abandon the whole project, but you have the unfinished symphony. You are not done. So I don't know what it is you're messing up, but your shadow side says to stop. I don't know if you feel like it's more trouble than it's worth, but you want it, or you feel like, give me a second. Your shadow side says you probably have some very underlying feelings of inferiority related to this thing that you need to work out, because this chaos and conflict, this riddle, you don't see things clearly. You don't see things clearly at all. And you're messing up as a result. Like, you're messing this up. So stop. Yeah, I mean, that's really all I'm seeing, is that your shadow side self wants you to maybe be a little more selfish. I feel like that was a reference in pile 2, but I don't know if I feel like for some of you, there's a lot of confusion in that you're abandoning the project, because like the confusion is this the right thing to do? Am I worthy of this? Or maybe you feel like it's difficult and you're going to have to actually work through some things to get to it. And you feel like because you're seeing and or experiencing delays that maybe it's not for you, but your shadow self wants you to know that it's not true. you're being tested. So this is a very lucrative thing that I see. So whatever it is it has the potential to be a great success, and not necessarily just financially, but it could be very fulfilling for you. So again, unfinished symphony. You are not done. You're walking away prematurely. Hopefully this message reaches you when you need it. So that's all I have for you, pile number 3. If this resonated, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.